Hey everybody, good evening, good afternoon. We are ReadySetCrypto. This is Doc and Mav with you here, the 2nd of February, 22 today. Welcome aboard. We want to know where you guys are coming in from. If you could do us a favor as you check in, as you join us here today, go ahead and hit the like button. Let other people know that we're on board here. Let's get a crowd going. Let's talk about crypto for the next half hour here. And first of all, let us know where you are coming in from. So we got Ali coming in from LA. We have RJZ the second coming in from New York City. Welcome aboard, everybody. Hopefully you guys are staying away from that ice storm, which is coming through the country. How you doing out there, Mav?
Good. February 2nd, 2222, or couple Lewis Hamiltons, you know. Oof.
Is he coming back?
I have no idea.
He's still sulking, I think.
Yeah.
Man, talk about a polarizing topic. It's like either you think he was robbed, or you think it's the greatest race that's ever been held in Formula One. People are still talking about it 6 weeks later. This is great. Okay, who else we got here? We got DW UK from the UK, somewhere in the UK. Welcome aboard. We have Rajith. We have Mark coming in from Sparks, Nevada. We have Long Beach coming in. And we have Jack coming in from the country of Texas. Outstanding. What part of Texas are you from, sir? We have Jack from Darwin. We have Paranoid Ace from London. We have Andreas from Germany. Welcome aboard. We have Dan in New Jersey. Stay safe out there, man. It's coming. It's coming your way. MG coming from the Northern California mountaintops. I wonder if you're anywhere near Mount Shasta. All right. Remember that, coming around that one turn, and all of a sudden there's Shasta right there. It is amazing. All right. And we got Daniel coming in from either Australia or China, depending on what's going on. Austin, Texas. All right. Fantastic. Great. Everybody, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. We'll get started here in just a second. And we'll be talking for about the next half hour on all topics crypto. I have it on good advisement that Mav has got some really cool things to talk about today. I will talk about charts. So if you guys want to start spinning up what pairs you want me to look at, it helps if you give me a ticker, because otherwise sometimes I'm out there hunting down something that doesn't exist. So a ticker would be great, and I'll see if I can find it. All right. So Mav, why don't you light up the pipes, man? Beso profundo.
Awesome. All right, guys. So yeah, what's going on today? I think it's pretty quiet overall. From the news cycle, I definitely saw a little bit of a Bitcoin sell-off a couple hours ago. So let's jump into some of the biggest news we're seeing today and kind of what's going on just from the market perspective. And then after I get a little bit of time here with you guys, I'll pass it over to Doc and we'll talk the charts. But all right, so this is a good little visualization of the past day and what's been going on, and can kind of see it's pretty much right across the board. Nothing is really standing out right now, at least from the major market cap coins out there. You got just basically a slaughter out there. Bitcoin just hit a 6-month low. So definitely it is the case that there's just some uncertainty in the market right now. I think that's really what you're seeing is we're going to continue to operate like this until probably March, when we get some more certainty back in the market with regard to interest rates and inflation, and just a lot of the malarkey that's going on right now with Russia and Ukraine and all that sort of stuff. It is definitely the case that the market is trying to price in the future, but at the same time, it's not really sure what's going on. So definitely the case that if we look at kind of more of the weekly perspective, it is, there's still some standout winners, but nothing close to what we had a couple months ago, right? It is definitely still the case that even for the guys that are winning right now, it's by a margin that's not really that much, all things considered. And yeah, going down through the smaller coins out there, it gets worse, you know. And yeah, I think that's also kind of attributed to the fact that there's really not much going on today. If the best we can talk about is how Bitcoin would only pay off 2% of the U.S. national debt. Okay, great. That's not a surprise to anyone. It's one of those numbers is going to be bigger than the other for a long time. But definitely it is the case that we're seeing Bitcoin hit 6-month lows. And even though, it's still kind of holding on, it's still bouncing around the high 30s, low 40s for the past couple of weeks. It's still the case that, I don't think we're going to see a turnaround at this point anytime soon. And that's where we get kind of maybe to the central question of today is it a good time to be buying this dip? Is it a good time to be, kind of understanding what's going on right now and using this as an opportunity? Definitely, it's not the case that some of the leading crypto companies in the States, they're not slowing down with their marketing budget. FTX and crypto.com next Sunday, when we have the Super Bowl, they'll be showcasing their very expensive ads, and Binance and Coinbase are also joining in on this Super Bowl bandwagon of advertising. So they're also going to be putting some ads out there too. I think that's cool. I think we're continuing to see crypto break into these sort of traditional arenas where people are going to see it more and more. And the more people get kind of, I don't want to say bombarded, but like definitely the more that they become familiar with the concepts of crypto, and that, hey, maybe this is something that is worth checking out. I maybe had my initial skepticism, but hey, if Matt Damon's talking about something, that must be good, right? I'm kidding. But, we're definitely seeing more and more of these celebrities hop on this bandwagon of crypto being a platform to attach to their brand to, basically. And more of these companies, these corporations getting into crypto in different ways. We're definitely seeing an arms race right now between the big tech companies out there about developing metaverse. Whether that's a good idea or not remains to be seen. I definitely don't feel like people will want to see their coworkers in VR just as much as they don't want to see them on Zoom calls or something like that. But hey, this is what crypto is about: is trying new things, going in different directions, and it doesn't always look good at the initial onset, but give it a few years, give it some iterations. If you're passing off things like NFTs or metaverse right now, I'm right there with you. They're pretty silly in a lot of cases, but this is where the crypto's innovation really shines. Is that, yeah, maybe the first pass is not anything too substantial, but over time, things like the DeFi space, at first that was just kind of very flat, not much going on. But these days, if we look at the total value locked in all the chains, I talk about pretty frequently, like what's going on with Ethereum versus its competition. You can kind of see it over the past year. The total value locked in other chains has definitely exploded as Ethereum has, kind of lost that lead, lost some of its first mover advantage. Still very much has that, still makes up the majority of this TVL chart here. But it's still very much the case that, projects like Terra and Avalanche and Solana, they're starting to really make up some ground. And certainly with even being the case that like Ethereum's fees have come down a little bit over the past couple months, they're still $5 on average. And it's still very much, we're just going to see the same problems repeat themselves, especially now that some of the elements of Ethereum's upgrade has been delayed. So all that being said, it's very much the case that we're going to continue to see this space innovate and expand and do new things. And so, yeah, I think the people passing off crypto these days and saying that, well, yeah, it was always a big scam. It was always a Ponzi scheme or whatever. Yeah, I never got it in the first place. So, yeah, I'm just justified in my feelings on this. Well, they're going to be left behind when crypto comes back and we move into a new era of innovation and projects and what's going on in the space. So what I want to impress upon you right now is that this is when kind of quiet wealth is built, right? It's during these downtimes, it's during these uncertain markets where real wealth is built, where real, the people who you hear about when the markets are hot, who are, overnight millionaires, basically, it's because they took the time to take a risk, make some insights on what's going on with the crypto markets and bet against it. When everybody else is bearish, they go long, they go, contrary to the trend. And you don't even have to be, one of these Bill Ackman types and try to completely buy the other end of something. You can just do something as simple as DCA. This is a great website called DCABTC.com. And it shows you that let's do 3 years of just buying $100 of Bitcoin every month. You can see that for the majority of that, those tough years of 2019 and, early parts of 2020, not much happened, not much of a return. But definitely was the case over the last year that you would see a massive amount of increase as the crypto markets just blew up. So that $3,600 that you've been putting in over the course of 3 years, grew to almost 20,000 with a 430% gain. If we zoom out a little bit to 5 years, so now we're going back to the start of 2017, you can see that, for the majority of that time, Bitcoin, the crypto markets were basically sideways or down. It's kind of funny looking back, and you can see the 2017 bubble and burst, which was, felt massive at the time, right? For those who were there, nothing compared to what we've seen over the past year, right? It's a little speed bump compared to a mountain, but definitely is the case that if you had invested the $100 a month over the last 6 years, total investment of $6,000, I think that's a relatively, a lot of people can conceptualize $6,000 and you could come up with that if you needed to. It's definitely, even if you lost that money, you could get by. It's a small amount of money for most people, but I would say $60,000 for a lot of people would change their lives. I think it would do a lot of things for a lot of people. So, just the difference in that and the 900% gain with nothing other than just buying repetitively every month, $100, out of sight, out of mind, just make it a recurring deposit. And to be able to see that grow so significantly, what I'm very assured of is that if we go forward another 5 years or 6 years from now, and we were able to look at the same tool, the same chart, we probably see the same thing. There's going to be a couple of years where not much is going on. There's going to be times like these where people are uncertain and we're doubting crypto and Bitcoin. And, they're saying, well, Biden's going to come along and take my Bitcoin, or the SEC or the IRS or, whoever is going to regulate it out of existence. Or, there's always going to be these things that come along that make people uncertain. But the reality of things is that Bitcoin just keeps trucking along. If they had the power to regulate it out of existence, they probably would have done so by now. But it just is not on their radar, so far as I'm concerned. And it's another thing that I think we're just going to continue to see the crypto space grow and evolve and become something bigger and better every day. So this is why during times like these, the question is not like, should I buy or should I not buy? It's what is my time horizon? What's my seriousness of this space? How am I treating this? Is this a long-term investment? Am I looking to get rich overnight? That sort of thing. Setting your expectations firmly in reality and not deviating from them just because the crypto market is doing a thing. This is definitely going to be the case over and over again. And those who are capable of trading dispassionately and sticking to a plan of action that they came up with, without any sort of emotional bias, Doc can echo this. That's how you win in these markets. That's how you provide consistent returns, and that's how you keep yourself from getting blown up, or having these bags that you can't walk away from. So yeah, I think today is not much to write home about, but if you have a forward looking approach to things, you can see this as a massive opportunity to say, yeah, maybe Bitcoin's going to continue to go down. Oh, well, I can also almost guarantee you at some point it will also go up. So I'm going to operate with that forward looking, sort of mantra to say that, I don't know tomorrow. I don't know a year from now, but I know how I'm going to operate. And that's all you have to do. So Doc, over to you. I pretty much bloviated as much as I can, but I think we're here as a collective community to make rational decisions.
To pick up on the point that you just made, there was somebody that wrote in, I don't know, it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, it might have been a month ago, where he was making the point that, like if you grow stuff, you have to take a harvest. You got to harvest this stuff every year. Otherwise, the plants just die out and fall back into the earth. And, this is what happens to markets. Markets go up, markets go down. If you have a very, very long-term horizon, you can, if you're young, right? If, I'll leave it there. But if you have a long-term horizon, you can afford to dollar cost average. You can work through the dips. You don't really care about this stuff because you're playing the long game. However, if your time is shorter, then you need to harvest, right? You have to sell into strength and you have to buy into weakness. You have to work the opposite of what the crowd does. I think I'm going to make a statement here, and I'm not sure if you're going to agree with it, but I would contest this is that, and I've always said this, is that social investing does not work very well. Because if you just expect to just jump on board with your favorite buddies on your Discord or your favorite buddies in some kind of subreddit or something like that, Wall Street Bets is a great example of how to destroy your account, because there's so much loss porn being posted over there these days from guys that don't know what they're doing. They're trying to impress their buddies and friends by posting, hey, look at this. I took an $86,000 account and I turned it into zero. Isn't that cool? No, it's not cool. Right? So the only way you're going to work through this is you're going to have to do the opposite of what everybody else is doing. All right. So before I get too tribal here, I'm going to do a little bit of looking at charts. First thing I want to do here is I want to go to BTC versus US dollar. This is my North Star. So what's different about this? This is a monthly chart with a log scale on it. So notice this enormous move, right? What this does is it normalizes it and it keeps me on the right side of what's going on. Yeah, it's been 3 months of, no, actually 4 months now of crappy price action, but we've been through this before. We've seen it before. It happens, right? Range expansion goes to range contraction. That's exactly what's happening right now. It's a matter of time before this finds a way to reverse, and then we're going to continue the pattern. Right? So from here, what I do is I'll go down to something like a weekly chart and say, okay, we do have a weekly downtrend, but we have a monthly swing down. So this is just a big consolidation pattern that's heading up here. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for levels like 30,000. As long as we don't break 30,000, if we do, that's not necessarily good because it's probably going to go rapidly down to about 20,000. But the way to DCA here is I've talked about 42,000, 40,000, and 20,000 for places to pick up additional inventory, right? Buy low, sell high. So it's the same old thing. So if we go down to the daily chart, now what we're seeing is, let's see which one of these I had. There it is. Okay. So notice the trend line that we have here. Notice the trend line. What we're setting up on the daily chart is just a series of lower highs and lower lows. So here's the thing. What I want you guys to understand is that this starts to fall into a pattern much the same way that this fell into a pattern. And everybody was expecting this over here to break to the downside. under 30,000. This was a descending triangle pattern. Everybody was in the know about what descending triangle patterns are. And the moment that this undercut the previous lows, it stuck its foot in the ground and took off. And I suspect that we're going to have something similar happen here. When everybody sees the same thing, they're going to be wrong. So tonight, this is failing at overhead, this conjunction of overhead resistance, which is about 38, 39, and the descending trend line. So everybody out there is just assuming that we're going to drop like a stone from here. Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. Maybe what will happen instead is we're going to print a higher low, and then jump through here. So this could happen just about any time now. Just about any time, especially when everybody sees the same thing, the opposite is likely to occur. Don't get caught up in the death cross and all this other crap. Right now, the problem here is, the larger problem is risk assets are being sold. This is not just a crypto thing. This is also a huge equity market thing. This is why the Russell 2000 small cap index is getting crushed right now. It's already down 20%, which is huge for the Russell. That's already a bear market. So we're just seeing crypto being caught up in the same type of inflationary environment, which does not bode well in the short term for risk assets. But we'll see where that goes, because we could see this actually reverse very quickly. Ethereum is showing the same thing, rising up to this confluence of pivot support, which is around 2,800, 2,900. Overhead resistance, which is right now 2,800 on the trend line. Everybody is looking for this to drop, right? Everybody's looking for this to drop, right? So watch for this to take the opposite path during one of these swings. Now, I did get some requests from some other people that wanted to look at some of these coins that are out there. Here is Polka City. What's happening with Polka City? Oh my God. All right. This is not good, right? So this is what we call distribution, right? Distribution. So before, I would not keep buying the dip. Guys, if there's one thing you can help yourself over time, buy things that are heading higher. Buy things that are heading higher. Generally, what you want to do is you want to look for a weekly chart. What's happening? What's the slope of the weekly chart? It's to the downside right now. So I would say avoid anything that's sloping to the downside. There is no medal for getting the bottom tick. There is something that's going around in social media with investing. It's been happening for the last 10 years or so, is people are trying to get that bottom tick and trying to get that little medal that they can wear around on their chest. It does not exist. What is low can keep on getting more lower, right? It's bad, right? So wait for things to start trending to the upside, especially in the weekly chart, before you invest your hard-earned capital in it. So Polka City is not a good chart. So don't take that personally. This is just my read on the price. Don't take it personally that it's your investment, right? Okay, the other one is OMI USDT. This one is doing a little better. If we're looking at this on the weekly chart, right? What do we have? We have a higher highs, higher lows. Higher highs. This is a higher low. This is a lower high so far. What this is running into is a little bit of a consolidation pattern. So that's okay. This is constructive. Look for dips within the pattern. And if it breaks below this, or if it breaks below this ascending trend line, then this may be in a void. So if it breaks down below there, ascending patterns will break to the downside. This is what you want to avoid. Okay, so this one is in better shape. Let's look at the daily chart. What's going on here? Just kind of trendless right now. This is a consolidation pattern. Okay, Phantom is the next one that got requested. FTM. Phantom versus US dollar. What's going on here? Pretty sloppy. I mean, overall, this one is still in a, let's see if we can determine the trend here. I guess you'd call this a This is a weekly uptrend. However, it's a weekly swing down too. So this needs to print a higher low and then pivot here. If this breaks this trend line, I would put it on the avoid list. So it's got a little bit of room to work to the downside, but it needs to get moving soon from here. Okay, anything else come in? Let's see. Cardano. Daniel's asking for Cardano. Let's go through the old ADA over here. Okay, so Cardano is a good example of, this is the weekly chart on Cardano. Here's how you apply this filter. Here's your trend lines. It was all good until we got into November. November destroyed a lot of charts. A lot of charts are broken right now. So this is throwing off lower highs and lower lows on the weekly chart. This is a big avoid right now. So most people bought in over here, and so they're holding these bags and not quite sure what to do with them. Learn to be ruthless with your exit decisions. You don't know what's going to happen in the future, but what you can do is you can determine, like, all right, if this thing drops below 1.8, I'm gone because I've got better places to put my capital. Don't become personally invested into assets. But right now, Cardano is on a void. Ali is asking for ENS. ENS. Let's see if I can find it. ENS, we'll do it through Tether. That's okay. Oh my God. Here's another one. Okay. So ENS is on the avoid list. This is a weekly downtrend. It's a youngster. It hasn't been around for very long, but it's not getting off to a very good start. We don't know where the bottom tick is on this chart. So don't keep buying and buying and buying something trying to figure out where the bottom tick is. Wait until it starts heading higher and then look to buy dips as it's heading higher. Okay? Okay, already did ADA. Let's see, VeChain. Haven't done VeChain for a while. Quite honestly, guys, there's very few assets that are doing very well these days. So here's another example of VeChain and the almighty trend line. Here's the almighty trend line. Somewhere around in there. It was making higher highs and higher lows, and then that has moved into a downtrend. Moved into a downtrend right around the middle of November, like everything else did. Okay, so right now this is on a void. VeChain is on a void until it starts making higher highs and higher lows. Okay, Rajith is asking for a couple of these. What's the name of them? These are Metaverse. These have not been too bad. So this is Decentraland, and that's still an uptrend. However, what I would say is I wouldn't give it too much leash. If it breaks through this, if it prints a lower high and rolls down through there, goes down through 150, I would dump it like a bad habit. Okay, let's see. LRC. Oh, they're coming in fast and furious now. All right, we'll just do a few more here. LRC is not good. Okay, so this is turned into a weekly downtrend as well too. Just about everything I'm going to bring up is a broken chart. Okay, if you want me to look at a chart, please give me the ticker symbol. Don't make me figure out what your ticker symbol is. Don't make me figure it out because I will get it wrong. I will get it wrong. I do it every week. I get the wrong signal or the wrong ticker. Okay, Doge. Dogecoin needs a little infusion of Elon, I believe, because it's in a serious weekly downtrend right now. Okay, so don't look for healing from this one. I would find ways to get out of this. Okay, let's see, whatever. I don't know what loop rings. I have no clue what loop rings. Oh, there it is. I happen to get lucky. So if you want me to look at this, okay, LRC. LRC is, didn't we already look at this one? Looks the same as another one. So this is not a good chart. Okay, Matic. Let's look at Matic Network. Okay. This one's doing better. Okay. Where is the magic trend line? The magic trend line is right here. Last chance Texaco for Matic. It's got to hold this trend line. If it's not able to put in a higher low down here, then dump it. Dump it. Okay. Let's see. We already looked at Ethereum a few minutes ago. Last one is Hex. Let's see if we can find a Hex. Hex is weird because it doesn't trade. Oh, I guess it does. All right. So we'll try it versus USDC. All right. Same deal on Hex. Hex is right at the magic trend line. Right there. Last chance Texaco on Hex. It's got to form higher low and drive up here or dump it if it drops below there. You got to dump these things. Okay, so let's, we're going to go back here. All right, thanks everybody. Thanks for your forbearance through the, again, don't take any of these personally. It's like, I've got, if there's one thing that you can count on is the price will not lie to you, right? Price is not going to lie to you. There's plenty of indicators that will lead you astray, like, hey, but the ADX said this or the MACD said that or whatever. But if you just look at price and look at trends, they will tell you what to do with your assets. We don't get any smarter once we put our money into an asset. All of a sudden, we get anchoring bias and we're looking for reasons to hold on to something as the chart goes lower and lower and lower, right? So you reach a point of diminishing returns, you know, like if you're just going to hang on to that, you're going to have, you know, could you do something different with that capital, perhaps? All right, everybody. That's all I got for today. You know, this has been 3 months of torture, but as Mav talked about, like, hey, for every time that we have something going down like this, we also have an equivalent period where it goes up. If you look at what's happened with all these assets over time, have they gone up or have they gone down over time? I think what you can make is a statement that over time they will go up. It just feels like it right now, like these things will never go up again right now because they've been busy going down. But it's actually been a very it's actually been a very slow, torturous kind of drip, drip, drip kind of thing. Very similar to what we went through at the beginning of 2018 before we had the dump here. But every dump was followed by an equivalent rally back to the upside. But stick with the right assets, because I think at some point here we are going to have a day of reckoning where quality will matter. Quality will matter down the road. And that's what we're finding in the equities market right now, is all that speculative stuff, all the SPACs from a year ago are just getting taken out behind the woodshed and, you know, beaten the crap out of. So be ruthless when it comes to managing your assets. All right, guys, that's all I got. Mav, do you have any final thoughts?
Yeah. So I would want to go over a little bit of what we've been talking about in our newsletters recently. For those who don't know, and those who are thanking us for doing this stream, hey, no problem. We love doing this stuff. We love coming on weekly, and just even when the market's not really doing anything too exciting or happening, hey, you know, this is what we've been doing for the past. I mean, this channel's been around for almost 5 years now. You know, it's kind of, we see it almost as a privilege to be able to have a channel like this and a community around this idea of, hey, let's talk about crypto in a non-emotional, non-shilling kind of way, you know, what it's really about. So that's why we started our website, ReadySetCrypto, to help people learn about crypto. And, you know, we provide almost daily newsletters around what's going on in the markets and the trends you should pay attention to. So let me hop back over to the screen share here to kind of show you guys what we've been doing for the past couple of days or been talking about. So Doc puts out a daily video, just kind of going over a lot of what he did for the past couple of minutes here, just showing you the charts, what's going on. It's really good stuff. And then we also do a weekly call on our Discord channel that all of our Omnia members, which is our membership service, are able to join. And yeah, we basically just kind of run through big picture, what's going on, what you should be paying attention to. And then I also do a daily newsletter as well. So yesterday I was doing an on-chain analysis look at the market and what's going on from like, what are the whales and the miners doing and how is that influencing where the price is going? And I'll show you guys the kind of the summary here because I think it's relevant to, sort of the question of where is Bitcoin going next and what should I be paying attention to? So the downtrend is continuing. Nevertheless, retail size wallets, those holding less than 1 BTC, they, for the most part, have not sold Bitcoins. And moreover, the supply held in these wallets is continuing to climb. And we can see that with the on-chain data. Yes, people are afraid. You can see that with this. This is the crypto fear and greed index. And as I was talking about, value under 20, so extreme fear, is historically a great buying opportunity. So that's kind of where we're getting back into, especially with today's sell-off, is that more than 66% of BTC holders are in profit. So really it's market manipulation is forcing people who are new to the space, new to Bitcoin, they're the ones selling because they're the ones who are panicking, selling. But those that are holding on, they believe either the price, it's going to go lower, but it's not going to get to the point where it's going to necessitate them selling. And, with this sort of extreme fear environment, high negativity and elevated leverage, this is where we're going to see a potential short squeeze in the future, especially after today. We look at the longs versus shorts on Bitfinex. We can see that there was an immediate, a couple hours ago when Bitcoin's price sold off, we can see there was immediate loss in longs, an immediate uptick in shorts. That sets up perfect conditions in terms of you got extreme fear, high amounts of shorts, and people believing that Bitcoins can continue to sell off, maybe go under 30,000 or something like that. It's a perfect environment for a short squeeze. That's the daily newsletter we put out for ReadySetCrypto. And for those who like this stream or what we do, that's where we're providing guidance and education on a pretty much daily basis. So if you are looking for something like that, check out ReadySetCrypto.com. Another one of our services is ReadySet Vision, which is all about on-chain analysis. And I'll show you a little bit of that too. It's where you're able to come in here and ask any sort of questions you have about on-chain analysis, what's going on from like the big macro trends perspective. And Checkmate, who's another one of our team members here, he puts out daily newsletters about what's going on in the space. I picked this one at random, but this is very much meant to give you guidance and understanding and basically how to outsmart the market in a way that not a lot of people are looking at right now, but is quickly becoming sort of the gold standard of analysis and how to kind of look at the crypto markets and basically beat all of the investing herd because you're able to look at data that they're not looking at. So it's a really, really good way to get ahead, especially during times like these where people are uncertain. Just look at the data basically and use that and some statistical modeling to say, I basically know what's going to happen next and I'm better prepared because of it. One other thing I want to bring your attention to is down in the bio below, which is where all these links are. We also have our other channel, ReadySet Trade, which is what Doc runs. And he's going to teach you all about how to be a better trader, how to be more effective with your trades, how to make consistent income with your trades. And yeah, he's really crushing it right now with like some of the videos he's putting out. They're pretty fun to watch. So I definitely encourage you to go out there and subscribe to that channel and check out what Doc's doing over there. But yeah, that's all I've got. So Doc, any last words?
No, I appreciate you guys showing up like you guys do every week. And we hope to do this every week with you guys. So if you like what you see, go ahead and, subscribe to the YouTube channel so you know when we're on next time.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, guys, hope you're doing well out there, especially with today's sell-off. But like I said, it's setting up a good environment for maybe a potential bounce. We'll see. And we'll talk about that next week when we're on. Same time, Wednesday. But until then, hope you're doing well. Take care out there. Cheers, guys. See you then. Bye.
All right. See you, everybody. Bye now.